Hi, I'm Alex Gay.
And I'm Lindsay Heyman. Welcome to the Monday Night Roar.
Thanks for tuning in. We have your latest news, entertainment, and sports.
All that and more coming up on the Monday Night Roar.
First, let's start with the local Clemson news. A week ago today, officials from both Clemson University and Greenville Technical College broke ground for a $25 million center meant to advance the workforce in high-tech manufacturing sectors. The Center for Manufacturing Innovation is a collaborative effort between Clemson, Greenville Tech, and manufacturers in industry to develop and implement advanced manufacturing technologies. The center's main goal will be to train workers to meet the needs of high-tech manufacturing processes. The center will also offer opportunities for students in high school through college graduates.
In case you didn't know, the Walmart Neighborhood Market on 93 is now open for business. The store opened this past Wednesday. Even though we already have an Ingles, Bilo, Publix, and a full Walmart not too far away, the initial reactions of students had been positive thus far. Walmart's lower prices have always been attractive to students on a budget, so hopefully this will keep the Tigers coming in after the novelty of the new store has worn off.
If you enjoy traveling or are looking for an adventure, you'll definitely want to pay a visit to the Study Abroad Fair this Wednesday. At the Study Abroad Fair, students can meet advisors, study abroad program representatives, and students who have studied abroad in the past. Study abroad programs are available for students of all different majors, so if this sounds interesting, make sure to swing by Hendricks this Wednesday between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m.
Clemson picked up another four-star football recruit this Saturday. Wide receiver T.J. Chase from Bradenton, Florida, committed to Clemson after a second trip up to Clemson, and talks with the coaches sealed the deal. Chase was also offered spots at Alabama, Auburn, Florida State, and Ohio State, all high-producing programs, so it's always nice to see Clemson in the mix with other top-tier football schools. Coach Dabo Sweeney is very excited to see what Chase will bring to the team in the fall.
A year and a half after the vandalism of our famed and treasured Howard's Rock, the missing piece of the rock still has not been found, and the case has not come completely to a close. The man charged with the vandalism in June of 2013 was originally charged with 2 misdemeanor charges. Recent developments, however, have shown that the chunk broken off of the famous rock is valued at more than $10,000. This bumps the charges up to felony charges, both carrying a possible 10-year prison sentence. No matter what the outcome of the case, one thing is for sure: stealing Howard's Rock does not bring good luck.
4 individuals were awarded Clemson's Martin Luther King Jr. Award for Excellence in Service for their commitment to the Clemson community. Caitlin Carlisle, Natasha Topoluk, Caitlin Lewis, and Rosa Graydon were presented with their awards on January 20th at the commemorative March in Service. These dedicated members of the community were chosen based on their service in the Clemson community, their advocacy for justice, and for going above and beyond what their direct employment called for. Clemson is lucky to have people like this, and if you happen to come across any of these ladies, be sure to congratulate them. Now let's check in with Gabby Bates for a look at the latest in sports.
Good afternoon. Welcome to this week's sports. Let's start off with your very own Clemson Tigers. The Clemson men's basketball team had a big win over Boston College, 64-49. Jordan Roper led the Tigers in scoring, putting up 24 points for the Tigers. Roper hit his career high of 6 three-pointers to help the Tigers improve 13-8 overall. Following Roper, Jerron Blossom game put up 16 points for the Tigers. Landry Noko also had a real good performance over the Eagles, taking on an entry pass from Dante Grantham and finishing off with a one-handed dunk on the Boston College defenders. Blossom game was also able to get a dunk after following up a miss that sent the crowd going crazy. Brownell was very pleased with the team's performance over the Eagles. The Tigers will face Florida State at 9 p.m. on Wednesday. The 13th ranked women's tennis team was able to defeat number 21 South Carolina 5-2 on Sunday at the Clemson Indoor Tennis Center. With this win, the Tigers will move to 3-1 on the season. Well, it was a good day in Arizona for the New England Patriots. As most of you watched, Super Bowl 49 was held last night with a head-to-head run against the New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks. The Patriots came out with a victory of 28-24, making this their 4th Super Bowl win. Tom Brady had a great night, throwing for 4 touchdowns, along with Malcolm Butler, who made a game-changing play, intercepting Russell Wilson's pass with only 20 seconds left in the game that led them to their victory last night against the Seahawks. This was a pretty exciting moment for the Patriots. With the ball on the Patriots' 1-yard line, the Seahawks knew they would be receiving the Super Bowl champ title, but Butler was able to spoil that with his interception against Russell Wilson. The Super Bowl was not the only thing happening in Arizona. The Phoenix Open was held this past week. Brooks Koepka receiving his first PGA Tour victory. Koepka's significant moment was when he was able to get an eagle off a 50-foot putt with his golf ball traveling up the fringe, up to a ridge, and right into the cup. Pretty exciting moment for Koepka. Bubba Watson had a good performance, almost winning the 2015 Waste Management Phoenix Open, but having to settle for pars on the 3 closing holes put Bubba at second. Tiger Woods made his comeback for the 2015 tour, but it wasn't such a good comeback for Woods. Woods shot 82, making it his worst score as a professional golfer at TPC Scottsdale. Woods failed to make the cut along with Phil Mickelson. That's all I have for your sports. Now back to you guys.
Thanks, Gabby. Now on to national news. New Hampshire recently released a new scratch ticket that may be the best idea to hit the lottery. A bacon-scented scratch and sniff ticket. The $1 ticket is neither the first scratch and sniff ticket nor the first bacon-themed ticket, but it is apparently the first to combine the two. The tickets have a top prize value of $1,000 and are selling much faster than lottery officials were expecting. According to ticket purchasers, the tickets actually smell like bacon, and those who have experienced the tickets were happy whether they won or not.
So how about that game last night? A well-fought game by both sides, but that wasn't too surprising as both the Patriots and the Seahawks have looked like powerhouses all season. The real shocker? The video game Madden NFL 15 created a simulation of the Super Bowl, and wow, was it accurate. It predicted the final score of the game. It predicted a second-half comeback by the Patriots. It named Tom Brady MVP, and it even predicted Edelman's winning touchdown. Not too bad for a video game.
There is no arguing against the fact that the Super Bowl is one of the most popular sporting events there is. You may not know, however, that a few hours before the Super Bowl, Animal Planet aired what may be the most adorable sporting event there is. Every Super Bowl since 2005, Animal Planet has hosted an accompanying Puppy Bowl. A collection of young dogs from 12 to 21 weeks old are given a number of football-inspired toys to play with on a small replica football field. After half the game, they bring out the cats for the kitty halftime show. Most of the stars of the Puppy Bowl are available for adoption. For more entertainment, let's hear from John Oliver with more on this week's entertainment news.
Our thoughts go out to Bobby Christina Brown, who remains unconscious after an alleged drowning in a bathtub this past weekend. The daughter of the late Whitney Houston was found in her home on Saturday lying in the tub. Her family released a statement stating that her recovery would be a miracle. In February of 2012, the iconic Whitney Houston was found dead in a bathtub at the Beverly Hills Hotel. The Houston family says they cannot imagine losing Bobby in the same way. Bruce Jenner's family says they are completely supportive of him transitioning into a woman. The Olympic gold medalist has been photographed recently with painted nails, no Adam's apple, and what appears to be hair extensions. Kim Kardashian said in an interview last week that she completely supports him in whatever he chooses to do with his life. A source close to Kris Jenner says she is at peace with the situation. You can watch the family's reality show on E! Idina Menzel kicked off the Super Bowl last night with an amazing version of the Star-Spangled Banner. The Tony Award-winning singer was so excited to be performing at this year's game. John Legend also performed his rendition of America the Beautiful. Both singers gave stellar performances. Kanye West reveals he is a changed man because of his wife Kim and daughter North. West says he learned to shut up more because he simply wants what Kim wants. Do you buy that? Because I don't. Anyway, good for them. I give it 2 months, max. Sorry to all you ladies and gentlemen out there, but Justin Timberlake confirmed his wife Jessica Biel's pregnancy. The Grammy Award-winning singer posted a picture on Instagram kissing his wife's stomach with a nice caption. The caption read, "Thank you everyone for the B-Day wishes. This year I'm getting the greatest gift ever. Can't wait. Hashtag boy or girl. Hashtag you never know. Hashtag we don't even know. Hashtag we are taking bets. Hopefully we'll know the sex of the baby really soon. So hashtag back to you."
Thanks, John Oliver. Don't you hate it when you film a porn video and then people actually upload it to a porn site? Well, for 19-year-old Oregon State student Kendra Sunderland, this is exactly what happened. Ready for another plot twist? She filmed it in her university's library. After her little video was viewed a slim 260,000 times before being taken down from Pornhub, Sunderland received a citation from the police for public indecency. So if any of you Tigers were thinking of getting raunchy up in Cooper, I think I speak on behalf of all of us when I say, please don't.
After some weather trouble last week, NASA successfully launched its Soil Moisture Active Passive Observatory into orbit. The SMAP satellite will spend the next 3 years using its radar and radiometer instruments to create soil moisture maps of the Earth. These measurements and maps will help improve knowledge of the water cycle patterns to aid in decision-making when it comes to areas like agriculture and water resources. SMAP will also help in the prediction of weather patterns that could lead to flooding or famines, as it assists us in better understanding our planet.
Today is Groundhog Day, and Puxatawny Phil saw his shadow, signifying 6 more weeks of winter, which isn't surprising with these massive snowstorms hitting the Midwest and Northeast. The current blizzard that has settled over Chicago is one of the city's top 5 snowiest ever, with 19.2 inches of snow fallen at O'Hare International Airport over the course of just 2 days. The sheer amount of snow has become a bit of a hazard, and although the snow has stopped falling, at least temporarily, city officials still will be dealing with this in the days to come. For all of you looking to cozy up inside for these 6 more weeks of winter, Freddie Pope has news on the latest movies and TV shows.
Thanks, guys. Hello, and welcome back to Showtimes. We provide you with all the important movie news from the couch to the theater. We cover movies coming to Redbox Theaters, Netflix, and Amazon Prime. This week, Redbox has Robert Downey Jr.'s drama, The Judge. Netflix has nothing notable, but Amazon has 2 of the old Michael Keaton Batman movies, along with the classic comedy Airplane 2, coming this week. Mila Kunis and Channing Tatum team up in the sci-fi action thriller Jupiter Ascending this week. Also coming out this week is SpongeBob movie, Sponge Out of Water, which, as strange as it looks, should be funny for those who watched as a kid. Out already is American Sniper, about American hero Chris Kyle, played by a ripped Bradley Cooper. Also out, The Boy Next Door, where an affair between a high school teacher played by Jennifer Lopez and her high school-aged lover surprisingly goes poorly. Thank you for tuning in, and watch next week for more updates. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Freddie. Now let's move on to our world news. Further tragedy has been brought to the world by militant Islamic State group with the recent murder of Japanese reporter Kenji Goto. Goto-san was a reporter who focused on civilians affected by nearby wars and was in Syria trying to secure the release of another Japanese hostage, Haruna Yukawa. The Islamic State released a video that appeared to show the beheading of the Japanese reporter, and although not authenticated, Japanese officials believe it to be genuine. Hopefully the violence will come to an end before even more than the already countless victims are killed as well.
An online GoFundMe campaign has raised over $350,000 for an elderly disabled man who was mugged in England. Alan Barnes was beat up and robbed outside his apartment and was so shaken up by the event that he is scared to return home. A local hairdresser heard of this and set up the online campaign to help Barnes move, which soon went viral. People from all around the world have been donating help to help this man get on his feet again. Barnes and his family are overwhelmed by these acts of generosity and had no idea the response that would come to his story. It's stories like these that reaffirm your faith in humanity.
Swedish Saab Group has recently developed a new flexible defensive technology for stopping bullets. Utilizing a layer of ceramic balls, the new soft armor system allows for flexible fitting to structures that can stop even armor-piercing rounds. The system has numerous applications because of its flexibility and is less expensive than typical ceramic and composite protection.
Thought World War II was behind us? Think again. A 93-year-old German man will soon appear in court to face charges of Nazi war crimes. The trial is to start on April 21st in northern Germany. The man faces charges of assisting with the deaths of 300,000 Jews in concentration camps. Better late than never, I suppose.
A German company, KHW, has come up with a solution for those that miss out on sledding because of lack of snow. Enter the desert sled. The sled addresses the differences between sand sledding and snow sledding with revolutionary new materials. A new type of plastic is used in the runners that both reduces friction between the sled and the sand, as well as resisting abrasion from the hard grains of sand. The company's initial target markets will likely be in the Middle East and Africa, but here's to year-round sledding around the world.
Trials for a potential Ebola vaccine will begin soon to continue efforts for preventative measures for the virus. The vaccine contains a small, weakened strand of the Ebola Zaire virus. They hope that by injecting individuals with this virus will produce an immune response so the body would be able to fight off any potential future infection. The plan is to vaccinate 30,000 volunteers in the areas near the outbreaks. It is yet to be seen how this vaccine will work, but it can mean a whole lot of lives saved. Lastly, let's hear from James with this week's upcoming weather.
Thanks, guys. Let's take a look at your weather for the rest of the week, and happy Groundhog Day. We'll see more on that a little bit later. Pretty much the same story as this week for the rest of the week. Highs in the 50s, ranging from 50 to 59. Not much of a chance for rain this week, except on Sunday, about 60% chance of rain on Sunday. Lows in the 20s, 30s, and 40s, so they're pretty much all over the board. Taking a look outside your window right now, it is a cool 37 degrees. Winds out of the northwest at 7 miles an hour, so it makes the wind chill about 31 degrees outside. Fairly cold. Taking a look at your radar, nothing much in the Golden Corner area tonight. There's a little bit off the coast of Florida, but that's about it. And now let's take it on up to Phil in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania for Phil's prediction. Phil, take it away.
Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. Now this second day of February, Candlemas Day in the year 2015, in the 129th annual trek of the Inner Circle of the Punxsutawney Groundhog Club, Gobbler's Knob, Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, United States of America. Punxsutawney Phil, seer of seers, prognosticator of all prognosticators, was awakened from his burrow at 7:25 or around then, by his handlers, John Griffiths and Ron Plowchet, and by the cheers of his thousands of steadfast, grateful, faithful followers. Phil waved to his fans, gazed at the sky and around his stump, and with the help of the Inner Circle and their large, rain-filled crowd, looked for his shadow. Majestically speaking in Groundhogese, he directed President Bill Daley to the precise goal, which reads, "Forecast abound on the internet. And I, Punxsy Phil, am still your best bet." Yes, a shadow I see. You can start the Twitter. Hashtag 6 more weeks of winter.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, 6 more weeks of winter. And if it gets too cold, go sit in a corner because it's 90 degrees. And now back to you guys.
Thanks, James. That's all for tonight. Thanks for joining us.
Be sure to like our Tigervision Facebook page and follow us on Twitter. Have a great night, and remember, stay classy, Clemson.